For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins, please do check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order. Yes then YouTube, we are back, but before we get started guys, if you want to drop a like on today's video for me and hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. So we are back with another custom tactics video. If you did enjoy my full updated 20-0 tactics, please do check them out. They'll be somewhere over here above me. Check them out, man. My full custom tactics, ultra defensive right the way through to ultra attacking, but today we are focusing on the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow with two variations to it. Okay, so there's the first variation, the variation I use all of the time, and the second variation is a variation of the custom tactics if you do struggle defensively, because you'll see what I do with my fullbacks normally. If you're someone that can't really defend very well, you might not enjoy that, so I do give you the other option of, alright, if you want your fullbacks to kind of like stay where they are, I'll then tell you the custom tactics for that. So, this is how I set my team up in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. I have Mbappe and Ginola up front. Ribery in that cam position. By the way, YouTube, I think the cam position in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow is arguably the most important position in the formation. It is your bread and butter. It links your defence to attack. It scores your goals. It creates opportunities. So if you're going to play the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, make sure you have a very, very, very good cam. It's the glue to this formation. I do play Messi left centre mid, and you will see why in the player instructions why that is important, because I basically have Messi getting forward. Socrates, of course, is the right centre mid. Yaya Toure in that CDM position, just as like the deep line playmaker, although I don't actually use that, but just kind of there pulling the strings. Then, of course, back four, pretty self-explanatory. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the tactics. So, balanced. It's always going to be balanced, YouTube. Like I do say, though, pressure on heavy touch and press after possession loss, they are good. Like, that is a good viable option, definitely. Especially press after possession loss. But with press after possession loss, be warned. When your team starts to press, they will press like mad. So if you're not expecting it, or your opponent beats your press, they're more than likely going to be into a very good goal scoring opportunity, basically. So that's why I don't use it. And also, it does drain your stamina a hell of a lot. Even me with a God Squad, it will drain your stamina. So balance is the way to go. I like to be in control of like where and when my team presses, if you kind of get where I'm coming from with that. I like to think to myself, well, if I want to press manually, I can do that. I don't want the AI just to randomly go, oh yeah, let's press. Ooh, ooh. Because I might not be ready for that, and then my opponent's got an easy opportunity on goal, right? So balanced on the defensive style. Defensive width, of course, YouTube, it's going to be 45. The chip through ball meta, the through ball meta with over the top, everything. You just need your players closer together, so it's easier to switch. Like, so, for example, if my opponent wants to do a through ball over the top, I can easily switch up into it. If my opponent wants to do a through ball through the centre of my back four, my two centre halves aren't too far apart from each other, so I can switch to the other one, easily block the through ball through, right? So that's why I use the 45 width. That's why you want to defend a little more narrower than you would normally, is because of that reason. The depth, remember I used to play with 72 depth, not anymore. I just don't think it's very good. I think with the chip, like I just said, like literally 10 seconds ago, with the chip through ball meta and the through ball meta as it is at the minute, I just don't think 72 depth is good. I just think your opponent's going to be far too easy. Like, he's going to get in on goal far too easy. You're going to be left too exposed at the back. You're going to be left far, far, far too exposed. So for me, balanced 45-55. You'll see it a lot in my custom tactics at the minute. That is my absolute bread and butter. I think it works very well at the minute. And if it's working very well for me, it's going to work very well for you guys. Of course, YouTube, the offense. You should guess it. If any of you are returning viewers or a returning subscriber around here, you will know balanced and direct passing is the way to go. It's never going to be anything different, YouTube. Honestly, it is just never, ever, ever going to be anything different from that. I think direct passing is so overpowered and so broken. It's needed. It really is needed, in my opinion. I don't know how anyone else can use anything different other than direct passing. I've tried everything, because I don't just bring out the same custom tactics. I do like to try and mix things up, especially when I'm experimenting. Direct passing is just so good. It's just the best one by a mile. I just don't know how you can't use it. But yeah, so that's what I do use. The width, very important. I actually do play 45 width. So it will obviously normally be the attacking width on 50. I go a little more narrow than that. The reason being is then your players are more closer together, so it's easier to do the extra pass when you're attacking. It's actually very, 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 like, good. Just trust me, the extra pass this year is the same as last year. It is there, and you can still find it. So that's why I do use 45 on the width. players in the box. I do have 6. I always like to be a little more attacking than the default. You know, I just like to be a little, that's just my play style, you know, a little bit more attacking, and it's good. So up it from 5 to 6, have that little extra player in the box. It does help, probably doesn't. Probably makes 0 difference, but it does in my head. And then 2 corners and 2 free kicks. So they're the tactics I use. Player instructions. So this is the first variation. So if you want your fullbacks to join the attack like I do, these are the player instructions that I use. So both my strikers are on stay central and getting behind. Both of them. I don't touch anything else. So I have both on stay central and getting behind. Very important in my opinion. Like very, very, very important that you have them on stay central. I find them drifting out too wide and then you haven't got anyone left in the box when you have them on balanced. I used to always just be a balanced width kind of guy. I'm not now. Stay central works absolute wonders. Use and abuse it. My cam is then on comeback on defence. That's it. Very important, because what will happen is we will defend in a 4-4-2. Okay, so we will defend in a 4-4-2, but then when we get the ball, it attacks in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. It's very good. When you're defending in a 4-4-2, you're just a lot more solid than normal. So, come back on defence. My left centre mid is on completely default, and he's on cover wing. So, he's actually on completely default. So, you won't need to touch anything on your left centre mid. My right centre mid is then on stay back while attacking and cover centre. Basically, because I've got my full-backs bombing on, I like to have one of my centre mids covering. So kind of like, you know, like if any of you do follow real life football, you know, like the kind of like the Jordan Henderson role. So for example, when Carl Walker's bombing forward, Jordan Henderson will sit a little bit. That's what my right centre mid does when Carl Walker's bombing forward. Stay back while attacking and cover centre on my CDM. And then last but not least, you will see I do have both my fullbacks on balanced attack and overlap, because basically I want the fullbacks to provide the width. That's what I want, so that's why I use that. And then of course, last but not least, comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So that's what I use on the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. But if you don't want your fullbacks to join the attack, so like if you are someone that does struggle defensively, and I get it, if you do struggle defensively, you're not going to want your fullbacks bombing on. You're not. It's just not going to work. So obviously, have both of them on stay back while attacking. You don't need them on overlap, obviously, because they're on stay back while attacking. It's just irrelevant. Leave everything else the same, apart from the right central midfielder. So you see the right central midfielder, leave him on balanced. Okay, don't have him on stay back while attacking. Because the fullbacks aren't bombing on, you don't need to have that right central midfield player on stay back while attacking. It's just irrelevant. If you do have your right centre mid still on stay back, you'll probably find it a little too defensive and you won't really enjoy it. So that's what I would use. So if you're going to have it on, if you're going to have your fullbacks on stay back while attacking, leave Socrates or the right central midfield player on completely default settings. And that right there is my updated 4-1-2-1-2 narrow custom tactics for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, please, please, please make sure to drop a like on it. Hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me, guys. And remember, what do I always say? Spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Have a positive mental attitude, man. Peace out. One love.